चल ले. Okay, very good morning, guys. So last day we just been discussed about creating a project, how to open a blank project and convert that into an MVC project, and also I explained you about routing. Two different types of routing. One is the conventional routing, and the second one is a attribute routing. The conventional routing and attribute routing. So today we'll focus on this, guys, how to create user interfaces in MVC. How to create user interfaces in MVC. Clearer? Fine. Yeah. Again, I'm just going to show you one more time, like how to open a blank project and how to configure it as a MVC project. I'm showing you one more example to you. You can watch. Let me open a new project. ASP.NET Core empty. Okay. Give a name. I'm giving some name for it. Save in our own folder. Click next. 6.0. Select the option. Do not use top level statements. Configure for HTTPS is left out. Create. So if you forget to select this checkbox, what will happen? Class and all will not come. You write. You know how to write a class, nah? You do it. Start from namespace, namespace name, class, class name. Next, main method. You write it. Nothing happens. Yeah. We got it. First thing, builder dot. Sorry. Before this one. Before this. What we have? Configure services. And here, configure. Okay. Builder dot. What is the method? Forgot here. Builder dot. Yeah. Services. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm directly checking in builder. Sorry. Builder dot services dot add controller with views. I'm sorry. I'm just checking under builder. No, it's builder dot services dot add controller with views. Okay. Next, app dot. Just go for using this option. What? Use static files. Okay. By default, you'll be finding app.mapget, and this code you're required to change it. What? You just required to go for writing the routing code there. You're required to write the route code in that place. Either call to the two methods here. If at all you want to use conventional routing, if you want to use conventional routing, what will you do? You'll call map controller route. If at all you want to use attribute routing, you'll use map controller. Okay. So how to write app dot map controller route. App dot map controller route. Actually, guys, this code basically, if you just observe, the method takes two parameters. Right? It's a method here. Map controller route is a method. And this particular method is going to take two parameters. What is the first parameter? string name. A name for the router, something like a default. Nothing but a name for the router, something like a default. So default, comma. The second one, what it takes is pattern. What is the pattern? What is the pattern? You can tell your pattern, controller name. What do you want? You can just tell the pattern here. Okay. So basically what it is taking, see, name, pattern. This name and pattern are not mandatory here, just to understand, because you recollect yourself when we talked about C#, if there are any optional parameters, if at all you want to give only values to some parameters, we prefix the name of the parameter colon and write. And writing, if that is sequence, no need. That's not mandatory. The name and all these are not mandatory. Directly you can write up like this. See, directly curly brace. Okay. And you can just write here what controller is equals to home. First what should come? Controller. Controller is equals to home. Slash. And here you can write what action is equals to index. Slash ID. That's all. You can write up like this on the same line. Map.controller route. First one, name. Second one, the pattern. What should come first? Controller. Default value, home. Second, default value, index. That's all. That is only the thing here. And to make this ID also optional, question mark. Null here. If you make ID also optional, it is a question mark. See, how is it present? Same only. Control is equal to home, action is equal to index ID. That's it. Name and pattern not required here. There are the parameter names, that's all. See there, you can see what is the first one, second one, that's all. But all you get name and pattern, the two parameters. The names are used only as a understanding for all the other people. Okay, so you don't require to write. So map controller route, default, and you can write off the pattern. That's it. Now your project is a MVC project. Your project became an MVC project now. Okay, three things. One, add controller with views. Two, use static files. Next, map controller route. And you're just going to tell the route pattern there. Okay, fine. What next? Come to the project. First, add a new folder. www root. www root. Next, I want to add a controllers folder. I want to add views, models folder. Views also required, but I'll show you one thing, watch. I'm not adding the views. I added controllers and models. Now I want to define a controller. Not controller. I want to add a model. Okay, right click, add a class here. The name of the class is user or custom employee something, guys. Employee or something. Right. Okay. Login model, guys. The model name is login model. I want to create a model for a login operation. Login model. Yeah, let us define some attributes to it. What are the attributes? Say? Email, password, remember me. Email, password, and remember me. Okay. So I just defined up the three things: email, password, remember me, all the three options what we have. I want to create a view now. I want to create a view now. Let us add a controller now. Let us add a controller. Click on the controller, add controller. So let us just add one controller. Let me see what name I given. Account controller. Something. Account controller. Okay. Account controller. And here I want to write a method. What is the method? Login. I want to write the method for login. Public iAction result login. We are writing a login method. So when you guys write a login method, when you just guys try to write a login method, so we need to launch the login view now. What we need to launch is the login view in this context now. So let's launch the login view. So right click, add view, Razer view empty, click on the add button, and I wanted to import the login view here. So just go for creating login.cshtml. Login.cshtml. Tell me one thing. Did I create a views folder? I created only controllers and models folder. I did not create a views folder, correct? But when I guys watch it, when I click on the add button here, when I click on the add button, a view is added. Basically, views folder is automatically added. That's why we did not add it. So it adds the views folder. Under the views folder, account, under that index. It is going to add you all these things automatically to you. Is that clearer? Now I want to import the file. What I want to import the login model. How do you import? @model. Same only. @model. MVC core tag helpers dot, that's the project name I given, dot models dot login model. You guys are aware of it? That's how I import. Name is index. Oh, sorry guys. I did not see. No props. We'll change off here. Login. I changed off the guys. Okay, controller login. Return view. Yeah, login model. I'm importing the login model. The guys understand the point. You're importing a model now. You're importing a model right now. What is the model you're importing? The login model is what you're just importing. Good. Now see, when you're importing a model in MVC 5, we already learned about this process. We require to prefix the namespace name MVC core dot tag helpers dot models dot login model, which becomes a little bit lengthy code, which is going to be a lengthy code. Tomorrow you have 10 or 20 views. In every view, we'll be importing a model. In every view, we'll be importing a model. And whenever we import a model, we need to write this lengthy coding there. To simplify this, guys, we are provided with a file called as viewimports.cshtml in MVC core. It's a new feature. We are provided with a new option called as viewimports.cshtml. It is something like, do you remember this one? We learned about viewstart.cshtml. By default, you'll have a viewstart.cshtml. Under that, generally, we set the layout. For layout setting, we used. And I said you, if you write any code in the viewstart, first it will call viewstart. Afterwards, it will call the other views. The first thing will be viewstart. Same way, now we are given with a new concept called as view imports. You are given with a concept called as a view imports. You can just use that view imports file and you can just go for importing up your namespaces there. Import the namespaces, not the models, namespaces there. Means to reduce this length, what you can do, watch. In the views folder, directly in the views folder, not in the account folder, directly in the views folder, right click, add view. Select an option, Razor view empty. Click on the add button. Click on the add button. And when you click on this particular add button, guys, you'll be finding an option called view imports. See, different type of Razor views are available here. See, what is this? Just a minute. Different types of Razor views I'll show you. Razor view, empty. What is Razor page? Razor page is basically what we just create in web apps. For us, we call Razor view. Extension is CHTML only. Why they named it differently, I don't know. But Razor pages means web apps. Razor views means MVC. Same way, this is a layout view. Razor layout. View start. What is the name? You know this already. View imports. You need to select this option. Razor view imports. Array, without selecting a Razor view imports, you can select a view and you can name it as underscore view. Generally, see this common files and all I said you use underscore. Are you getting my point or not? What we use? We use underscore basically. Okay, then we can just use the underscore. Okay, and you guys watch it. Click on the add button. The view imports.cshtml file is added now. The view imports.cshtml file is added, and the view imports.cshtml file will be directly present under the views folder only, not under any shared folder or anything. Okay, and remember, if you open a core MVC project, this view imports is automatic. I'll show you. I remember last week we created that MVC project and learned about it. What is the name? I remember. Don't remember. Just a minute. On that day, we hosted the project on IES. So let's run in administrator. Core test. No. Yesterday we created core test. Core MVC project. We created it on 27th. Go to views. These two will automatically come. Why I open a blank project is to show you how to manually add it. That's it. So going forward, initially, even though I take blank projects, going forward, I'll use MVC projects only. You already know that. I already shown you all these things for you in the MVC 5 only. Okay. So we added it. Now in the view imports, what you can do, you can write this one. What do you write? You can just go for writing using our MVC core tag helpers dot models. We are importing the namespace here. Now you can go to here and you can simply say, so no need of writing all the lengthy code here, simple. Even if you are using IEnumerable also same, IEnumerable of login model. So basically in the view imports, we'll import the namespaces. We'll import all the required namespaces here. And when you come here, we are just going to go for writing only login model. Is it clear? Yes or not? Okay, now I just wanted to install Bootstrap in my code now. I want to install the Bootstrap in my code. Just install the Bootstrap. Okay, so how to install a Bootstrap and all, you already know that, guys. Yeah, how to install the Bootstrap and all, you already know that. So yeah, this is what I shown you right now. Just a second. So this is the first step. Created a project. Yeah. Okay. So this is the first thing what you are doing. First, a project is created. Next, you added a new folder, models, and this is your model class. And next, the next thing what you done is controller and account controller, and this is the method what you're writing in the account controller. This is the method what you're writing in the account controller. Okay, next. You need to add a view. You need to add a view. And once after adding the view, we are just going to import this like this. See, in the above statement, we are prefixing the namespace name before the model class name. And we need to do this in every view where we are using model binding. To simplify the coding or decrease the typing work, MVC core introduced an option called view imports. That is, it's a new .cshtml file present under the views folder, just like underscore view start.cshtml, but with the name underscore view import.cshtml. And we can use this file for importing all the namespaces. For importing all the namespaces, all the required namespaces for the views. All the required namespaces for views. Okay, so that we don't require to do that again in each view. We don't require to do that again in each view. Without doing that again in each view, we can just write it only one time. See, if we create a project of type ASP.NET Core empty, then we will not have view import.html file by default in our project. So we need to explicitly add it. And to do that, right click on the views folder, not on the shared or something, views folder. Select the option, add view, which will open the new window, In that window, select Razer view empty and click on the add button, which opens another window. In that window, select the template Razer view imports, which displays underscore view import.ch as the file name. Click on add button. You again just click on the add button to add it to the project. By default, the file will be empty and the file write the below code. You're writing the code. @ Okay, note. If we create a project of type ASP.NET Core web app, then we don't require doing all the above things because by default view import file is added and the model namespace and the model's namespace is also imported. If you open a core project, everything is automatic. Namespace importing, everything will be done. What next? Now in login.cshtml, without prefixing the namespace name before model class name, we can directly write it as following: @model login model. That's it. Then also, no, you want to import IEnumerable of login model. That's all. If at all you want to use IEnumerable, then IEnumerable of login model. That's all. IEnumerable is not a namespace to import there, nah. It is an interface. Fine. Installing Bootstrap for designing views. If you want to use Bootstrap for styling of elements, we need to first install Bootstrap in our project, and we can do that either by using NuGet Package Manager or Library Manager for all the client-side libraries. I explained both the two things to you. How to use a NuGet Package Manager, how to use Library Manager also. Both the two things I just shown you. And here I'm using Library Manager, guys. I'm using the Library Manager here for installing the Bootstrap. Choice is yours. It's not mandatory like you're required to use Library Manager only. You can just use whatever you want. That's up to you what option you wanted to choose. I chose what? Library Manager for installing. And guys, do you remember how to use the Library Manager? Right click on the project. Okay, and choose option add. In that you'll find client side library. In the client side library, first provider will be there, CDNJS. Next one, library. Type there. What? Twitter Bootstrap. When you select there, automatically pick the latest version. The latest is 5.2.2. Guys, at the time I created the document, 5.1.3 is the latest. Now it is 5.2.2. Is the latest version by the time of preparing this document. For you, it will 5.1. I'll upload the notes. Anyhow, who have printed notes? There you understand that one. 5.1. Select what? Include all libraries. And next, to specify the target location. Where you want to, it automatically taken it. See, www root will be the default location what it takes. If you find this much name lengthy, just cut short the name. Simply I'm giving the name as Bootstrap. Click on install. Installing, guys. Wait. It will add for you on www root. Taking time. Restore operation started. Yeah, in the bottom it's showing you. It is just installing. And also, okay, let it do. And also you remember I explained about this one, what's it? Lipman.json file. Click install and this will install Bootstrap in our project on a specified target location. This will also add a file in the project with the name Lipman.json called librarymanager.json. Guys, this is the second time I'm talking about it. Already in MVC5, I explained you all these things to you. Okay, which will contain the details of all the libraries installed. It will contain that information. Yeah, install. Bootstrap. Okay, now, fine. What next? What next? The next thing is you just go for So library manager is installed. What next? The next thing is create the login view. Create the login view now. Okay, just go for creating a login view. Yeah, to create it, I'm writing some HTML code. Not HTML code. I'm writing some code using HTML helpers. We learned already HTML helpers, the same HTML helpers. Already you can watch everyone. @ using HTML dot begin form, login, controller name, account. You know that. Method post, class, something, role form, something. I'm just using some Bootstrap. And remember this one? Anti-forgery token. I'm using the anti-forgery token. Next, a div, label, text box. I've just created all these particular things. And this is nothing new here. We already learned all these things when we worked with MVC5. When you just work with MVC5, you just been looked at all this particular process. What we used here? HTML helpers for creating the views. What we used is HTML helpers for creating the views. Okay. So now launch it. Just a second here. It is using, default is a Kestrel now. Kestrel, nothing problem. It will again start Kestrel server, takes time. Express means directly you can run now. Okay, meanwhile, let's talk some few things here. Controller, account. Sir, why it did not launch by default? Because the default controller name I given is home. Now I'm using account. I'm using account. Next, login. The default is index, but ours is login. Login form. It created your the login form here. Is that clear? The login form is created using tag helpers. Okay. Meanwhile, let's discuss something. What's it? ASP.NET MVC5. In ASP.NET MVC5, to create views, we have two options. To create views, we have two options. What are the two options? One, HTML controls. Two, HTML helpers. I have explained you both the two things, but we started using HTML helpers. ASP.NET MVC core. ASP.NET MVC core. Okay, simply I'll say ASP.NET MVC and ASP.NET MVC core. To create views, we have three options. What is the third option? Third option is tag helpers. HTML controls can be used. HTML helpers can be used. And third option, tag helpers, is a new thing what they have added for us. So, sir, again, do I need to learn tag helpers? We already invested a lot of time to learn about HTML helpers. And we are comfortable with HTML helpers. Today we got new thing called as a tag helpers. Do I need to learn anything tag helpers? No need. Why, sir? Tag helpers code will be same like HTML code only. Tag helpers code will be something like HTML code only. Only thing is, you want to create a text box. Input type is equals to text. Name is equals to ID is equals to same way. But these tag helpers will have new attributes there, that's all. What will they have? New attributes. They're going to have some new attributes here, that's all. And the new attributes will convert them into C# coding internally. That is basically C# code, that is internally. But how do you write, You write it same like your HTML code only. So that's way you don't require to learn anything newly with the tag helpers. So we don't have the pain. Means, simply speaking here, we are again stepping back. Stepping back in the sense, from HTML controls, we used HTML helpers. Again, we'll go back to HTML control style of coding only. Tag helpers is completely HTML style of coding only. That's what. So we are going to perform a step back here. Are you clearer or not? Okay. Fine, well and good. So now this is how you created a view. This is how you're just going to create a view now. Is it clear? Now, this one, see, I'm using Bootstrap and all the things and just designed it. And here I used anti-forgery token. And when you run the view, when you run this particular view now, the anti-forgery token will generate you a token key. You remember this one? When I go to view page source, it is going to generate you a token value. Yeah. Request verification token. A token is generated for you here. And I said you, because of this token, tomorrow you cannot go for forgery. You cannot go for forgery. You cannot just go for forgery. Request is not allowed. The request should come only from this particular site only, but one isn't allowed to request from other sites. Anti-forgery token. I added it manually and I created all the things. Okay. Now, without using this one, what I want to do is, I want to go with tag helpers now. Are you clear? So to use the tag helpers in our code, okay guys, listen, to use tag helpers in our code, I need to import a namespace. Yeah, we need to import one namespace now. And to import the namespace, what is the best place? Should I import in the your view file or shall I import in the view imports? Go to view imports and imports a new namespace. How to import? Not using statement. We say @add tag helper, add tag helper, the name of the tag helper. The name of the tag helper is what you require to write. What is the name of the tag helper? Microsoft dot ASP Net Core dot MVC dot tag helpers. That is the namespace, guys, under which all the tag helpers are available. And don't forget, tag helpers are classes. In object-oriented programming, everything is class only. Tag helpers are classes. These are classes basically. And they are defined in the namespace Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.tag helpers. But the syntax is a little bit different. We don't use using statement. What we use? Add tag helpers. And how do you write is you require to write star, comma, and then you're required to specify the name. What is this star? Star indicates like I want to import all of the tag helpers. I want to import all of the tag helpers in my code now. So how to write? Star, comma, Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.tag helpers is the syntax what you just require to write. Okay, Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.tag helpers. That is the syntax of writing add tag helper. And once you add this one, guys, now come to the login. All of you observe it. I'm removing all this code, guys. What? From the using statement. The using HTML.begin form HTML. Again, this HTML helper, not tag helper. Removing all the code. And now I'm going to write the code manually for you using tag helpers. All of you, you can observe how I'm writing the code. It is your traditional HTML style. Traditional HTML style. How? Form. You just use the form tag. Okay. Method is equals to post. You know this. Now, you have some new attributes, guys. You guys observe, you have some new attributes. What are the new attributes? The first one is ASP-controller. This is a new attribute for you. Observe it. ASP-controller. When I say ASP-controller, you can tell the controller name here. What is the controller name? Account. Next. ASP-action. What is the action method name? This is how you write. You'll be using some new attributes. Recollect yourself. We don't have these attributes in HTML. These are traditional HTML coding with new attributes. You can easily identify the new attributes here. When you use the new attributes will be in the purple color. HTML attributes will be in the red color. The new attributes will be in the purple color. Can you see that? They're just coming for you in the purple color basically. Okay. So when you use that attributes, now internally it is going to use not HTML controls. What it uses? Tag helpers is what it uses. Is that clearer, all of you? Tag helpers is what it uses. Okay. Now basically I'll write the remaining code. Just run it once. Account and login. Yeah, let's go to view page source. And we go to the view page source. What I'm trying to show you now, tag helpers will use the anti-forgery token by default. I don't require to again write @HTML dot validate anti-forgery key. I don't require this. That's a built-in. See there, automatically you got it. Yes or not? Watch this once. Remove these two attributes. What to? Now it is a tag helper or HTML controller. It is HTML. It is not a tag helper. Run. Account login. View page source. Automatically this came now. How, sir? Because we already imported the tag helpers. Because we already imported the tag helper, this anti-forgery token should automatically come for you nowadays. Is that clear? Okay. So when you go for using the tag helpers, they're automatic. And now these are the new attributes what are given for us. So no need of writing a HTML dot validate anti-forgery. But in the previous code, I shown you that now not required. Okay, what next? I want to draw a horizontal rule there, HR. I want to draw a under rule, HR. Next, I'm using a div. Div class is equals to, I'm using a bootstrap class, form-group. It's a bootstrap class, guys. And see, these attributes are all red color. Red color means they're all HTML. How do you create a label? Label tag. How do you create a label here? Label tag. We just use the label tag here. Okay? The label tag. And guys, observe carefully when you're just going to use the label tag. The label tag came in what color? Red color. The table tag came like in the red color. That's it. But now I want to do model binding now. Or when you do model binding, automatically the model text will come here now. And to do the model binding, how do you do the model binding? You know, ASP-per. You noticed it when I use it, that attribute automatically the label tag color also changed off. Yes or not? Okay, by default, you see that's in red color. Not red also, it's going to be brown color, dark brown color. Okay, this is red color, this is brown color, it is in the brown color. But when I use this attribute, what attribute? ASP-per, ASP-per, and specify your model property name. See, IntelliSense is showing you the model attributes to you, and you can just use them here automatically. Email. And see, the complete tag color got changed off now. Are you clear? And model binding is very simple now. No need to write some character there, m, lambda expression, m dot. No need. It's very simple. They made it very easier for us, guys. Okay, next. What next? Input. I just wanted to create an input. Default input is text box. If I don't tell the type, default is text box only, na? Input. ASP-per. What is it? Email. The text box is for email, na? ASP-per, email. And I'm just going to create a text box here. I'm going to create a text box in this particular place. Now, if you run this, account and login, go to view page source, automatically everyone see, label, the label is created, input, type is equals to email. How, sir? You did not tell the type now? I did not tell the type, but when I defined my login model, I said email address. I already used that attribute email address. Annotation was there now. Because there is an annotation, automatically it has created your email. Now see, is the coding simple and easy or not? Tell me, the coding became very simple now? Just a simple HTML coding only, what we are just using. Yeah, we just created one text box in this place. Okay, a text box has been created. Email has built-in validation code, na? Your email has built-in validation code. No need to specifically tell that. It has a built-in validation code. Okay, next. One more dev. What is this, guys? Password. Here also password. One more dev. What is this now? This is going to be remember me. This is going to be a remember me option. Okay. And yeah, input type, input ASP-per, and here also we're just using remember me. Are you clear? Okay. So I'm just going to use the remember me option here also, both the places. Actually, I want a little bit different. First, I want checkbox and afterwards I want text. Array, first checkbox and afterward text should come. Run. This is what you know. Remember me. Next again. Input type is equals to submit. Value is equals to login. Class is equals to BTN primary. Same way, reset. Here also reset. Login form is created. Okay, just a minute. We'll have some styling code. If at all you want to use an HTML attributes, you can directly use now. No need to use new keyword, open the curly brace, nothing. The things are much more easier and simple in this case. Boolean, yeah. Boolean, you already learned in data annotations all these things and asking this question now. I'm just using a bootstrap over there. Yeah, created all the things. Is that clear? Yes or not? So see now, the coding is very simple. A checkbox is created based on the data type. Already in MVC5, I explained all these things based on the data type controls are created for you. I don't require to write @ checkbox something. Why? You're using a regular HTML code only. So based on the data type, it is going to create a checkbox automatically there. Understood? Yes or not? So this is how you are just going to design the user interfaces. This is how you are going to design the user interfaces now. From now onwards, we will not be using HTML helpers anymore. What we will be using is the tag helpers. The tag helpers are what we are going to use going forward. No more HTML helpers. Is the point clearer, all of you? Okay, so that's what we just have here. See, in the view what we have created above, we have used HTML helpers to design the UI or view. Whereas MVC core provided as tag helpers for UI or view designing. How to use tag helpers? To use the inbuilt tag helpers, we must import them by using @ tag helper directive in view imports.cshtml file. If our project is ASP.NET Core empty, we need to perform importing explicitly. Whereas if the project is ASP.NET Core Web App, then it is automatically imported. Are you clear? To check that, you can go to view import.cshtml, watch the code, and there we find the below statement. Understood my point? The above statement will import all the tag helpers that are present in the namespace. And as discussed above, if we import a library in the view imports.html file, then it will be available for all the views. If you don't want any views to use global imported tag helpers, you can use remove tag helper in the respective view. If you don't want to use global, you can just go for using remove tag helper in the appropriate view. That's a different story. We'll talk about it. If you want to use these tag helpers in our login page, then delete the things and write. Okay, just a minute, guys. We did not open an MVC project now. We will open an empty project. Just a second. Yeah, ASP.core empty project is what we created. Just a minute. Okay. We need to do it manually, guys. I missed it. Don't forget it. I just missed that particular thing here. We need to do it manually because we did not add a MVC project. What we created is a empty project. See, to use the inbuilt tag helpers, we must import them by using tag helper directive in view import.cshtml file. If our project is ASP.NET Core empty, we need to perform importing explicitly. I said that. If our project is ASP.NET Core empty, we need to perform importing explicitly. Whereas if the project is ASP.NET Core Web App, then it automatically imported. And to check that, go to you start that HTML file and watch the code, and there we find the below statement. Okay. I'll write up here only. And if not found, do it manually. Do it manually. Clearer or fine. The above statement will provide you access to all the tag helpers in the code. See, if you want to use the tag helpers in our login page, then delete all the content that is present inside the section tags in the code present there and write the below code. What is that? I first I given you this code now. In this code, from where to where I removed, see? There's a tag called section. In the section I have all this code. Remove all this code now. And there start writing the code. Watch it. Form ASP-controller account. All ASP attributes will be in the purple color. Are you getting my point or not? In the latest version of the Visual Studio, what they done is, if you are using HTML attributes, automatically tag color also changes. I created in the old version of the Visual Studio, but in the latest version of the Visual Studio, if I use a tag helpers, tag color also will change. I already shown you. By default, it is in maroon color. When I added the attribute, automatically changed it up. The tag also changed up to purple color. That purple color is an indication to tell you are using tag helpers. Okay. So this is how it is just going to create the things to you. Yeah. More about MVC core tag helpers. Okay. MVC core tag helpers about it. Yeah. MVC core tag helpers. These will enable server-side code to participate in creating and rendering HTML elements in browser pages. There are many built-in tag helpers. For common tasks such as creating forms, links, loading assets, and more and more, even more available in a public GitHub repository as NuGet packages. What is it telling you now? Microsoft has given you so many tag helpers to you. Apart from that, there are third-party tag helpers available. To you. Where they are available? In the GitHub repository as NuGet packages. And even more available in public GitHub repository as NuGet packages, as well as we can also create our own tag helpers. Guys, am I clear? What is the first option? There are many built-in tag helpers. For common tasks such as creating forms, links, loading assets, and more. And even more available in public GitHub repository as NuGet packages, as well as we can also create our own tag helpers. We'll see how to create our own tag helpers. How to create our own tag helpers, I'll show you. Now see, tag helpers are authored in, the code is completely implemented in C# here. and the target HTML elements based on the element or attribute name. For example, there is a class, guys. What is the class name, you know? Label tag helper class. Targeting HTML label element. Just to see how the classes are defined. The classes are defined in such a beautiful way. There is a tag helper called as a label tag helper. I don't require to call it anywhere at all. When I use the label tag, automatically label tag helper will come in action there. There is a tag helper called as input tag helper. When I use the input tag, automatically input tag helper class will come into action. Means they made the things as simple as possible to you without using any complicated code. But behind the screen, there are so many classes which are coming into action. Okay, you will understand it much clearly when you create your own tag helpers. When you create the tag helpers, you'll understand how to define a class. All these things you will be just having an understanding about it. But right now, once I import this here, automatically these tag helpers will come up into action. Did you notice it? What happened? Where are labels here? Model bindings and all did not work now. And these are regular HTML coding. That's all. There is no anti-forgery token, see? Regular HTML. Did you catch my point or not? This regular HTML, there are no label text is not coming. Why? Because we did not import the tag helpers. We did not import the tag helpers. When we import the tag helpers only, those will automatically come into action. So you noticed it? Even when you just go for remember me, that also created text box there. Why? Default input type is text. The default input type is equals to text. That is coming into action. Okay? Fine. Yeah. The built-in label tag helper class targets the HTML label element when the label tag helper attributes are applied. If you are familiar with HTML helpers in MVC5, tag helpers will reduce the explicit transition between HTML and C# in Razor views. What is that? The syntax will be same here. When we are using HTML helpers, again the syntax is different. @HTML.textbox, it's a method call. But now is it a method call or HTML code style? HTML code style. In many cases, HTML helpers provide an alternative approach to specific tag helper. Okay, but it's important to recognize that tag helpers don't replace HTML helpers, and there are no tag helpers available for every HTML helper. So what is it telling, you know? Don't think like tag helpers are replacement. That is also there. This is also there. So many areas where tag helpers are not available, you require to still take the help of HTML helpers only. Are you clear? Okay, so that's what it is telling you. What tag helper provides? Tag helper provides an HTML friendly development experience for the most part. Razor markup using tag helpers looks like standard HTML. Front-end designers who are familiar with HTML sees that JavaScript can edit Razor without learning C# Razor syntax. Did you understand the advantage now? You don't require to learn the C# Razor syntax again because you are directly using HTML only. What came now? New attributes came. If you understand those attributes, that's enough. You don't require to learn C# specifically. Means front-end designers also can design you the Razor markup controls to you. Okay, that's what the advantage what you have with tag helpers. Tag helpers are a way to make developers more productive and able to produce more robust, reliable, and maintainable code using and maintainable code using information that is available on the server. For example, historically, the mantra of updating images was to change the name of the image. You remember I already shown you 2-3 times to you in the code also. What is that? If I don't change the name of the image, cached images are coming up. If at all you want to affect the changes, what I'm doing? I'm changing the name of the image. Why? Because if you don't change the name of the image, cached images will be already in the browser, they will be loaded. Tomorrow, for example, in an application here, you're using an image. The image name is header.jpg. Image is fine. So the client has asked you, the site was in running for 1 year. Now in the next year, the client asked you, this header image, we want to change, our company logo changed, we want to change. So they designed a new image. After designing the new image name is also header.jpg. The new image is pasted in the folder now, copied into the folder. Run the application, still old image will come. But new image won't come until and unless you change the name. If you change the name of the new image, what is the impact, in the total application, wherever the image name is used, in all the places you require to change the name of the image also now. Am I right or not? Until then the changes won't affect. So that problem was resolved with tag helpers. Even if you don't change the image name, the changes will affect for you here. They introduced a new concept here. I'll show you practically how it works. See, for example, historically the mantra of updating images was to change the name of image whenever we change the image, because images will be cached by the browser for performance reasons. And unless we change the name of the image, you risk clients getting a stale copy. Stale copy means old copy. Stale copy is nothing but old copy, nothing but what is in the cache. Historically, after an image was edited, the name must be changed and each reference to the image in the web application need to be updated. That is very, very important, guys. Changing the name is not the solution. You require to change the name in the whole application also. Not only this is labor intensive, but it also error prone. You would miss a reference accidentally, enter a wrong string exact. For that 10 places I use the image name. I forgot on 1 place, 9 places I changed, 1 place I forgot. Again, problem starts. The built-in, there is a tag helper. What is the tag helper? Image tag helper can do this work automatically for us. That is, this will append a version number to the image name. So whenever the image changes, the server automatically generates a new unique version for the image. So clients can guarantee to get the latest image. The robustness and labor saving comes essentially free by using. That's all free for you guys. What it will do, for every image is binary, na? Image is binary or not? Based on that binary value, it will generate a key. It will generate a unique key or a version number. We call it as a unique key or version number. Whenever the binary data changes, this version number also will change up now. Are you getting my point here? And that is appended to your image name. So your image name is not only name of the image. Your image name is name of the image concatenated with the version number. Even you don't change, that name will change automatically now. Whenever the image changes, this image name version number also will change now. Okay, when it changes, cached image won't come. Automatically connect the server and load you the fresh image. I'll show you practically, guys. Hold on. Okay, we'll see all these things practically. All the built-in tag helpers targeted the standard HTML elements and provide server-side attributes for those elements. See, all the built-in tag helper target the standard HTML elements and provide server-side attributes to those elements. For example, the input element used in our views contains the ASP per attribute, and this attribute extracts the name of the specified model property into the rendered HTML. The model property value is coming here. See for label, what you written? Automatically model property value came now. And when I removed the tag, when I removed this line and showed you, labels did not come. Why? The model property is not loaded. But all this happened when I only import this. Okay. What are tag helpers? Tag helpers are classes. What are tag helpers? Tag helpers are classes written in C# but are attached to HTML elements to run server-side code from browser views. In other words, views that are created in HTML do not have their presentation logic defined in C#, which is ultimately executed on web server. Examples of some built-in tag helpers are anchor tag, environment tag. So many built-in tag helpers are just available for you in your code. Okay. So how do we use them? We'll just try to understand about it. So the first one is form tag helper. This is used for creating form element. How do we use a form tag helper, guys? I already shown you. What's that? Form ASP-controller is equals to home. ASP-action is equals to login. Method is equals to post. Is it clear? Okay, that is the form tag helper how to use. And see the rendered HTML, all of you. See the first line converted into traditional HTML code. Action is equals to home/login. Are you clear? Okay, converted into home/login. Or otherwise I'll say home and here I'll use any name here, no problem. I'll say index. Settle your video. Next, input and submit elements here. Next, the request verification token is free. MVC runtime generates action attribute value based on the form tag helper attributes ASP controller and ASP action. So based on these attributes, what attributes? The ASP controller and the ASP action attributes, it is going to generate the things. The form tag helper also generates a hidden request verification token to prevent cross-site request forgery. I'm sorry. Prevent cross-site request forgery when used with validate anti-forgery token attribute in HTTP post action method. Protecting, what is that? Protecting a pure HTML form from cross-site request forgery is difficult. The form tag helper provides this service free for you. It is just going to be free for you. If you want to use the same thing in your MVC5, you have explicitly done that, remember. But here that is free. Okay, now that is going to be free option for you. Guys, you learned attribute routing yesterday, remember? How do we use attribute routing? Route and then we specify the name. Correct? Huh? Watch it. What is the class name? Inheriting from? See now, I have an action. What is that? Register. The method name is registration. And see further I'm defining a route. What is the route name? Account register. I can change the names now. Register. For this, guys, I can give a name now. What is the name? I can give a name. This is called as the route name. This is called as a route name. What do you call? Route name. What is the route name? Register route. And all of you carefully observe, in the form tag, you can use an attribute called not ASP controller. What is the attribute? ASP route. And what did you write here say? Route name. But what it generates? Are you clear? You are not writing. You are writing only route name. What is it generating you? I'm sorry. It is generating you account/register only. Understood? Huh? What we call using a named route. That's a named route basically. Okay. Same way we just have form action tag helpers available. I'll show you all this particular thing. Form action tag helpers. What is that form action tag helpers? See, basically, I want to have two buttons on the screen. Two buttons should be submitting to two separate pages. Two buttons should be submitting to two separate pages. Two submit buttons. Two submit buttons. Each submit button should separate to a separate page. If that is the case, what you're required to use, you're required to use two form tags. You're required to use two form tags here. See, I have two buttons. One is login, should submit to login page. One is register, to submit to register. If that's the case, I require to use two form tags. One form action is equals to account login method is equals to post by form. Here what you place? Login controls. And then submit button. Okay. Now on the same page, left hand side login page is there, right hand side register is there. Are you clear? Left hand side login code is there here, login control. Right hand side register. If you are existing user, you can log in. Otherwise, you can register. Both are there on the same page. If that is the case, I require to use two form tags now. Another form tag. Targeting. Are you clear? But now the tag helpers will bring you an option. No need of writing two form tags. One form tag will do the job to you. How is it? I'll show you. But one form tag only can do the job or the work for you. Am I clear? Okay, guys, I'll explain all these things in detail. Let's have a session tomorrow. 8 o'clock. We'll start at 8 o'clock. Okay, and we'll just take until the time convenient. Any other class? Okay, we'll start at 8 o'clock and we'll just take it until time convenient. And one more thing I just want to tell you. Yeah, we have a class tomorrow. What I want to tell is, whoever sent up your resumes, actually guys, mainly we are not entertaining any work from home options. It is completely, you're required to come to the office. That's the first thing I just want to tell. So don't expect work from home. Okay, going forward, all the companies are closing that. Even TCS has officially announced no more work from homes. Okay, and another thing is, we want the person to directly come to the interview. It's a walk-in. Directly. Anytime, next week, anytime you prefer, send me a WhatsApp message. All of you have my number. Send me a WhatsApp message. I'll schedule the interview. When you're ready, next week, the complete whole week, you can just directly come for the interview. Okay? Mainly, sir, online interview, online. No, we don't conduct because we want to see the personality and the attitude of the student. Is that clear? We just want to check the personality and attitude of it. So anytime next week, you can send me a WhatsApp message when you're coming anytime after 2 p.m. Anytime after 2 p.m. After 2 p.m., you're always welcome the whole next week for the interviews. Okay? So I, as I said, as I spoke with them, I'll be available there, but I won't take the interviews in our company only. I won't take the interviews because you are my students. I'll not take the interview. Someone will be taking the interview. But what I say is basically prepare the basic C# first. C#. Okay, just be good in the C#. See, in the end of the in the end of their notes I given you, in the C# end of the notes I given you, logical programs, Fibonacci series, prime numbers. Okay, no need patterns and all, no need. But these things, Fibonacci series, prime number programs, I just given prepare them. Are you clear? No pass outs here, no pass out condition has been put. You come, if you are worthy, we'll give you a job. No pass out condition. We want only the student is worthy and with a good attitude. Final year student, how will you come here? Or do you have a certificate? You don't have a certificate now. How do you come? Only who are having their certificates. Year of pass out, we did not put any condition. If you are ready, if you have a good attitude and ready, we are ready to give you a job. Well, completely you will be trained on a new technology, hot cake in the market. A new technology with MVC only, site core. That's a very hot cake in the market. Even the training will be given. I will be joining the training for you. Along with you, I will also be joining the training. I will also attend for the training because that's a hot cake in the market where you're getting excellent packages on the industry right now. Sitecore, you'll be trained on that. Okay? No online interviews. No online interviews. Yes, tomorrow class is there. Yeah, the company don't entertaining online interviews because they want to see the attitude of the people, the personality of the person and the attitude of the person. So they are just trying to come out directly, come to it. Okay, you send me when you're ready for the interview next week, you just ping me. I'll drop you the location. Cyber gateways. You know cyber gateways? The cyber gateway. It's in the cyber gateway. The company name is This Idea. The company name is This Idea. Cyber gateway, This Idea. Just Google it. Okay, in the cyber gateway, company name is This Idea. Okay, just search for that, Google it. You'll find up the information in the Google, and I'll drop you the location. Just ping me in the WhatsApp. When are you ready to come the interview? Okay, Monday to Friday, anytime is okay, but only after 2 p.m. Only after 2 p.m. Yes, I'm working in the same company. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, just let us stop here. We'll have a session tomorrow, 8 o'clock, only online. Okay, so you can just we'll meet up there. Pass outs, we don't put a condition. No, but any of pass outs, but no arrears. But no backlogs. Make sure that you don't have any backlogs. This Idea. Company name is This Idea. Google, guys. DSIDA. Yeah, This Idea Software Technologies. This is it. This Idea Software Technologies. Okay. Yeah. Let's meet tomorrow, guys. Any questions? Yeah. Yes, the promise that starting you will be in a training. In the training, you will be given 20,000, and once after the training, 25 to 30. Between 25 to 30, they're offering. In the training, it will be 20,000. Okay. Once the training is completed, it will be increased for you. Minimum, you can expect 25,000 after the training. Not like 6 months. I think it is 4 months, 3 to 4 months. Depends. Yeah, you can take a bandwidth of maximum 6 months, but 3 to 4 months. Okay, guys, let's stop the webinar tomorrow.